Hi, my name's Matthew Piscineri. I work with the Arts Academic Language and Learning Unit in the Faculty of Arts. I'm based at Clayton. In 2007, I was part of a team that was successful in obtaining a grant from the Australian Teaching and Learning Council. The title of the submission was Evaluating Student Preferences for the Mode of Delivery of their Teaching and Learning Resources. We obtained approximately $200,000 and finished the project in late 2009. As always, writing the application is probably one of the first challenges you face in the context of applying. We were lucky that we had a very supportive group of people around us. The team members contributed regularly to checking drafts. I think the drafting process can be very frustrating. Speaking to people who have submitted other applications, I've heard from them that this is one of the most challenging aspects, just having to draft and redraft. But we were fortunate to be able to, I guess, float our draft application to people around us, experts in the field, and the feedback we received from them, I think, was instrumental in the submission's final success, actually. Some of the it's a little bit like having your essay checked. Someone else who reads it always picks up things that you've overlooked or missed or could do better. Drafting the application is always one of the main challenges, and as it is at the commencement of the whole process, it's always great to have the input of all of the team members, being able to present a draft and have it checked and have the different perspectives, I think, really assisted in developing a submission that eventually was successful. Another important element, I think, is to share the drafts with other people, experts perhaps in the field in which you're researching. We were fortunate enough to have contributions made by Professor Dean Ray Francis from the Faculty of Arts, who overviewed our submission at a late stage and provided very good input into how we should, for example, deal with student inducements for participants. Kate Shannock, who's an expert in the field of teaching and learning from La Trobe University, gave the submission a very good work over, picking up various language issues, and I think it's a valuable thing to do at any stage, to engage with other people in the area in which you're intending to research. Yes, writing the application was very intensive. I remember starting it in, I think, February of 2007. The idea was given to us by my colleague, Dr. Leha Fun, and she, in a sense, motivated us to form a team and start the writing process. As I remember it, we wrote fairly frenetically for, the best part of late February through to March to have it ready for submission. There were many late night sessions, and it was extremely intensive because we were putting the team together from scratch, as it were. So the need to compile a literature review and to, in a sense, frame the entire project was, took a lot of energy. And eventually we were lucky enough to put a project together that seemed to be coherent, and again having the benefit of people outside viewing the project and polishing up the rough edges was always a very useful strategy towards the end of the project. If I had to put it in our terms, I'd possibly say at a minimum we would have spent 80 hours or so working on it, and that possibly might even be a conservative estimate. The ALTC stress the importance of disseminating the findings from the project, and I think they're very keen for there to be ongoing dissemination throughout the life of the project. At the beginning, we placed particular emphasis on knowledge transfer processes, and I think looking back on the project, it's one of the areas that I'm perhaps most proud of in terms of how we fulfilled the expectations. We put a great deal of emphasis in two areas. One was web-based dissemination. We developed, as most other projects do, a very comprehensive website. We conducted an e-symposium in the middle of the project, which was very successful with over 100 registered participants. As the project concerned things digital and things online, it seemed appropriate to pursue this particular area of dissemination, as it were. The other area of dissemination we particularly emphasised was a program of national and international colloquia. We ran colloquia in Korea, China, Vietnam, Dubai. That was a particular focus of the group, to try to develop both a national and international community of practice around the project. And again, that worked very successfully. It laid the groundwork for the contacts to which we could then disseminate the final report, and we have disseminated the report both in hard copy and online as well. So dissemination was in a particularly important part. We felt that if we could effectively disseminate the project throughout its life, and once we had obtained the findings, then we could set up a sustainable community of practice, which has actually proved to be the case. Another aspect of the dissemination, or what I prefer to see as knowledge transfer processes of the project, was we promised, as it were, the ALTC that we would at least get 4 publications from the findings of the project. To this stage, we've achieved that, as well as 2 other book chapters. We were intending to produce a monograph which collated all of the presentations facilitated by the project, and at this stage that is one area of the project which we haven't quite finalised, but it is in a work in progress.